For as long as humans have roamed this treacherous earth, we have craved to conquer again and again until the next biggest obstacle is conquered. First, we conquered agriculture. Agriculture created civilization. The civilizations got too big for each other and they... War! They went to war! And then... when we finished killing each other and we stopped war, then what was the next step? Well, to regress to our former, most simple form of conquering. That's right, climbing a fucking mountain. The innate desire to climb to the top of something tall, like a mountain, seems instinctual. I mean, as a prehistoric human, why wouldn't you? That height advantage could be the difference between life and death. The desire to tackle and conquer such a landmark could be seen as... So, you just bought open world game number 243. Good for you, sucker. So you load into this new and unfamiliar open world for the first time, and probably the first thing that'll stick out to you, if present at all, will be a mountain peak over the horizon. If you're unfortunate enough to be anything like me, you'll take the pure existence of this virtual mountaintop as a personal insult, an attack, a challenge on my ego. As much as it may seem, such a goal is not purely out of vain curiosity. There are some practical reasons to conquering such a landmark. For example, in many survival games, and I'll take Minecraft as a specific example, you load into the world and you are unfamiliar with the surroundings, you don't know what's going on, you need to survive. So in Minecraft, the first thing almost all players will do is commit minor deforestation, and once they've committed minor deforestation, the next thing they're most likely to do is to scan the area for the nearest highest peak so they can climb to the top of it and get a good idea of the area that surrounds them. Even if they're not going to build their mountain mansion dream house, it's nice to see what biomes are around you, what structures are around you, if there are any potential monsters, threats, whatever. But circling back, yes, there may be practical reasons, but a lot of the time it is completely in vain. There is no reason to do it. It's just fun to climb to the top of a mountain. It's fun to try and tackle it. It's fun to feel offended by a virtual mound. I mean, a great example of this is GTA 5's iconic Mount Chiliad. Mount Chiliad is massive. If you line them up, it takes up 1/5 of the whole map. It's visible from any point if you're north of the Vinewood Hills, and when you approach Sandy Shores, especially in the town of Sandy Shores, you can't see the sky if you just look straight ahead. It's just covered by mountain. You have to look up and stand back to see the whole thing. So obviously when something like that looming is hanging over you, it's egging you on to try to climb it in something. And yeah, sure, role-playing climbing Chiliad in a bunch of 4x4s with your friends in GTA Online is very fun. But if you increase the difficulty by using weaker and weaker vehicles, it is, I think, a little bit more fun, but incredibly frustrating. You don't know real frustration until you've climbed Chiliad in an EK9 Honda Civic. But, regardless of how challenging or easy your trek up the mountain was, anyone who's gone near Grand Theft Auto 5 knows that there's nothing more fun than just barreling down Chiliad in literally any vehicle you can get up there. On a bicycle, in a Honda Civic, it is fun as fuck, and then your vehicle is just absolutely totaled by the end of it. And folks, this is what I like to call... I don't think there's much argument that going down a mountain is almost always more fun than going up, unless it's Death Stranding. Breath of the Wild, Link can paraglide across almost the whole map from one mountain. When I'm playing Just Cause 3 and I see a mountain in the distance, I do not see it as anything other than a ramp to throw a fucking bus down. Bus down, Tatiana. Or throwing a boat down there. Honestly, any vehicle. And I mean, there's a whole genre of games where you just go down a mountain, which is called winter sports games. All the fun you have in steep is descending. Tux Racer is a brilliant example of going downhill. Go Vacation, while we're at it, Go Vacation. Riding down the rivers of the mountain in a kayak. Sign me the fuck up. The treacherous steep slopes and the cliffs of a video game mountain can certainly inspire, but they can also cut off. They can cut off. No, I'm not referring to some mystical mountain that you are impossibly destined to face. No, I'm talking about you physically cannot cross them, it's impossible. boundaries. World borders. I'm talking about world borders. Big open world games often use large bodies of water or mountain ranges to cut the player off from exiting the designed area. I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is a nice example of this. It uses both mountains and rivers, but there are mountains within the game that you can climb. Mount Hagen is officially the tallest mountain in Red Dead Redemption 2, but once you climb it and you look north, where you can't go any further north because the mountain range is as far north as you can go, and you're standing on top of the tallest mountain, you realize that there is actually taller mountains, like not that much further, but they are part of the world border. This is used incredibly often in linear games, especially Naughty Dog games. The Last of Us does this, Uncharted does this. I think Halo Combat Evolved does a really good job at funneling the player where it needs to go without ever using any obvious signs like arrows or waypoints. Being able to do it without being too obvious, I think, is pretty cool. Speaking of obvious, most gamers might not even notice the mountains in the game. There are some games where you literally have to be aware of the mountain. You need to know where the mountain is because it's the... There are plenty of games out there where your whole objective is to start from the bottom of the mountain and reach the top for whatever reason, and once you do, roll credits. In God of War 2018, Kratos needs to deliver his wife and his son's mother's ashes to the top of a mountain, and it is a fierce journey. It takes you a good 20 to 30 hours to finish the game. Another tonally completely different game, a short hike. The whole point of the game is to get to the top of the mountain so that you can get cell phone signal to call your mom. It is such a cute game. It's like a perfect example of how to make a small game feel big. Your whole goal and journey is to reach the top of the mountain. In Death Stranding, you are forced to go up and down mountains unless you want to go all the way around them. The whole point of this video is just to point out one thing in particular that you might overlook quite often and kind of dissect the purpose that it plays, the role that it plays in the games that you play. I mean, they serve as such a pretty backdrop. In Red Dead Redemption 2, I think so much of it looks phenomenal just because of the mountain backdrop behind it. Death Stranding screenshots look like fucking real. It's crazy. So yeah, thank you for listening. I actually filmed this video like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. It was supposed to be out a week ago, but I filmed the whole thing. It was like an hour of me talking, but I looked so fucking dumb. You probably noticed I got a haircut. I looked so stupid. I filmed that video and that was the last straw. I was like, fuck you, I need a haircut. I look so stupid. So there is an alternate reality where I finished making that video and maybe I kept going on my hair. But damn it, I could not do it anymore in this reality. Yeah, I'm done. I'll see you later. Bye.
Your Amish, just leave and just be a normal person, you know? If I was Amish, that's what I would do. I would move to New York City. They got all those big old TV things. Soda!